Hello students, I'm here with another video from the chapter of science that is from your NCERT book. The name of the chapter was Acids, Bases and Salts. So in this chapter till now we have discussed about the types of acids, then we have discussed about the types of bases also, and we have discussed about indicators and how we are going to distinguish between these two on the basis of the value of pH. So till now we have done all these many topics, and today I am going to discuss about the neutralization and neutralization reaction and what is the purpose of this neutralization reaction in our daily life. So we'll start with the first topic, that is neutralization. As this word is a long word, again it is made up of two things, that is neutral and azation. Now this neutral means that this something which is neither acidic nor basic. Okay, we have just studied in the previous videos that salts are the neutral substances which are neither considered in the acid and they are neither nor considered in the base. So the acids and bases are chemically opposite substances. So when an acid is mixed with a base, they neutralize, means they are going to cancel the effect of each other. So the products which are formed on mixing an acid and bases are called salt. Fine. So whenever we are going to mix acids and bases, they are going to form salt, as well as one more product is formed, that is called water. Okay, so this is about the neutralization reaction. So a reaction in which acids reacts with a base to form salt and water, it's called that is known as neutralization reaction. Okay, a neutralization reaction can be represented as this one is the way of representation of any neutralization reaction. So this is done when we are writing the reactant first. We are taking raw materials first, which is written on the left hand side, that is acids and bases is written as the reactant. Then it is going to form some products. After the reaction they are going to form some products. So these products are salt and water. So these two are the ways, these two are the products which are formed after neutralization reaction, as well as the heat is evolved. Okay, so the heat energy is also evolved in this process. Some of the heat is also evolved in this neutralization reaction. Okay, so the heat is going to rise the temperature of the mixture, due to which the mixture becomes hot. So wherever this reaction is taking place, you are having acids and you are adding base to it, it is going to form salt and water, and this test tube becomes hot in nature. Okay, it is going to hot, it will rise the temperature of this solution which is present inside this beaker or the test tube in which your experiment is being done. So in neutralization, two new substances are formed, that is salt and water. A salt formed during neutralization reaction depends upon acid and the base in for which the reactions are being taken. Okay, now when the reaction is always, so this neutralization reaction is making it very clear that it is a reaction between two substances. One of them is acid, another one is base. So when these two substances are acting, means they are reacting with each other, it is going to form a type of salt. Now salts are of three types. Okay, I'll just tell you about these three types of salts in the next slide. Okay, now first we go on to an example of such neutralization reaction, which is saying a sodium hydroxide is a base, then hydrochloric acid is an acid. When sodium hydroxide is treated with hydrochloric acid, then neutralization reaction takes place to form sodium chloride, which is a salt, and water is formed, which is written as this reaction is written. Sodium hydroxide, the formula for sodium hydroxide is NaOH. In the last class I told you to learn these formulas. Okay, so the formula for sodium chloride is this NaCl, and the formula for hydrochloric acid is HCl, and the sodium hydroxide is NaOH. This sodium hydroxide is NaOH. Okay, so this sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid HCl is going to react together to form two new products, that is sodium chloride and water plus heat. Okay, the salt formed in this neutralization reaction is sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid is sodium chloride. Please remember the name of the salt which is formed after the reaction. It is known as common salt, which you are eating in as table salt. Okay, the heat is also evolved during this neutralization reaction, and this is formed in the following activity. Now this activity is given here. So this activity is telling you what you have to do in this activity is that you have to take the solution in the test tube. What you have to take the solution in the test tube, you have to take hydrochloric acid in it, and you will add some phenolphthalein indicator to it. Okay, now you'll see that by adding phenolphthalein indicator to it, what you are going to see that since it is a base, it is an acid, it is not going to react. So we'll take 5 ml of dilute sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid in this test tube. Now hydrochloric acid solution is colorless. Add 2-3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator in the test tube. Shake the test tube gently. Phenolphthalein indicator becomes colorless. So there will be no color change in the phenolphthalein, indicating that it is an acidic solution. Take some sodium hydroxide solution, that is a base, in the dropper. Then what you are going to do, you will add drop wise this sodium hydroxide in the this hydrochloric acid. So when you are and keep stirring this, continue adding this sodium hydroxide solution drop by drop and stirring till the light pink color just appears in the test tube. As soon as this is going to appear, you will stop adding this sodium hydroxide solution. Okay, since this was colorless solution, and as soon as you are adding base to it, it becomes basic. Till the time it becomes basic, you just have to stop adding more sodium hydroxide. At this stage, all this hydrochloric acid which is taken up in the test tube has been completely neutralized by the sodium hydroxide base. Thus neutralization reaction takes place in this test tube. Okay, after the completion of the reaction, you will see that there is a new substance which is formed at the base of the base of this test tube, which will be sodium chloride. Okay, that will be salt and water will be obtained. Next thing which is and you will feel that this test tube is hot. It is going to change the temperature of this test tube. Okay, so this was about neutralization reaction, in which where the acid is acting with base to form salt and water. Okay, next is the neutralization reaction in your daily life. So this is very much important topic to understand, that what is the meaning of the word neutralization. We have done this, and we have also seen that the types of salts are formed. Okay, now this salts are of 3 types. I told you just in this slide only. I'll just try to make you understand that these salts are of 3 types. Okay, salts are acidic salt, then basic salt, and neutral salt. So acidic salt, basic salt, and neutral salt means what? Acidic salts are formed when you are taking, see, when we always do this neutralization reaction with acid and base to form salt and water. So when acidic salt is forming, then it means that a strong acid is taken. Okay, a strong acid is taken. See, if 2 people are there, one is strong, one is weak, who is if they are fighting together, then who is going to win? That is very much clear that only the strong person is going to win. Similar to this, in this reaction also, the strong acid, when you are taking any acid, that is hydrochloric acid which is being taken, the acid will be strong, so the salt will be strong acid, or it is acidic salt. Now if you are taking the base as strong, now if you are taking a strong base, instead of taking a strong acid, you will take the base as strong base, then the salt which is formed will be basic in nature. Okay, fine. So it is going to cancel the effect of acid. Okay, again the same concept, that if two people are there, they are strong. Now this time the base was strong, it means it is going to form basic salt. Similarly, if strong acid and strong base both are strong, if 2 people are fighting and both of them are strong, who is going to win? Nobody. Similarly, here also nobody is going to win, and the salt which is formed will be the neutral salt. Okay, so a strong salt, a strong acid, and strong base, they are going to react together to form neutral salt. So please remember, these are the 3 types of salts which are formed on the basis of strong acids and strong base. Okay, now we go on to the neutralization reaction in your daily life. So the neutralization reaction means that acid is reacting with base to form salt and water, and that salt is obtained at the base of the container as a precipitate, means they are going to be settled down in the base. Now the first thing is that neutralization reaction. Okay, do you feel that this neutralization reaction is very important in your life? Yes, it is important. Okay, so this neutralization reaction involves acids and bases to play a very important role in your everyday life. The remedy for indigestion, that is causing acidity, it is and the treatment of ant sting, reducing the too acidic or too basic nature of the soil, and the treatment of the factory wastes. All these involves the neutralization reaction. Now let us discuss this one by one in detail. The first topic is the indigestion in this for this neutralization reaction, which we are going to see in your daily life. So this neutralization reaction is very much utilized in this process of indigestion, where our stomach produces hydrochloric acid. Okay, so everybody knows that our stomach produces hydrochloric acid, and this hydrochloric acid has a very important role in your food. This I have taught you in the second chapter of your book, that was the nutrition in animals, where the digestion, when I was teaching, I told you that inside the stomach we require this acid to be produced, since it has to kill bacteria which are present in your food. So whenever we are eating food, we are eating some bacteria also, that is very clear. Okay, that is for sure, because bacteria are present in all the surroundings and on each and every food material and each and every object. So it goes inside with the food. Anyhow, how much you have how much cleanliness you have been practicing in your home for cooking your food, but still some of the bacteria are going inside your mouth when you open your mouth for eating. So these bacteria are killed by the acid which is produced in the stomach, that is hydrochloric acid. And you know that hydrochloric acid is a very strong acid, because it is a mineral acid. It is one of the mineral acid which is produced inside your body. Now this hydrochloric acid helps in digesting your food without harming the stomach. Sometimes excess of hydrochloric acid is produced in the stomach due to various reasons. One of the reason is that we're overeating. Okay, if you find that something very delicious has been prepared in the kitchen today, you start eating and eating and eating. You forget that our stomach is full now. But what happens after that? So after doing overeating, then what happens? The acid is going to be produced in a large amount from your stomach. Now this acid is going to irritate the walls of your stomach. This is going to irritate the walls of your stomach, causing indigestion, means your food will not be digested properly. The excess of acid in the stomach causing indigestion produces pain and irritation in your stomach. The person who has excess of acid in the stomach is also the person is also suffering from acidity. Okay, this word you have always heard when the ad of Eno or some other products you have seen in the television. Okay, so here the acidity is going to increase because of the excess of acid which is produced in the stomach. So this excess of acid has to be neutralized. If we are not neutralizing this strong action of this strong acid, it is going to harm your body. It means you have to take some base in your body. Okay, so this base is going to relieve the pain and the suffering from your stomach. So these are called antacids. These bases are called antacids. Okay, so please remember, in order to cure the indigestion and get rid of the pain, we can take these bases which is known as antacids. So remember that antacids are the meaning of antacid is anti-acid. Anti-acid means it is the opposite of acid. Okay, means it is a base. Antacids are the group of mild bases which is used to treat this indigestion. Okay, for example, milk of magnesia is given here, and you can see that digoxin is there, gelocin is there. All these are antacids which are being sold in the market. You could see at the back of these bottles, you could see that one of the most important ingredient is this milk of magnesia. Okay, So the sodium hydroxide is used as magnesium hydroxide is used as the antacids, which is mostly present in this milk of magnesia. Okay, so magnesium hydroxide is used as milk of magnesia, which is going to treat the acidity of your stomach, and it also is known as the antacids. Now, being basic in nature, antacids reacts with excess of acids in the stomach to neutralize it. This gives relief to the person who is suffering. A common antacid which is used for curing indigestion of acidity is milk of magnesia, which is given here in this diagram. Okay, magnesium hydroxide neutralizes the excess of acid present in the stomach and which is causing indigestion, which is being cured with the help of this milk of magnesia. Another antacid is the baking soda. Okay, so this baking soda also acts as the antacid. So this is the major component of ENO. Okay, this is known as sodium hydroxide. So sodium hydrogen carbonate is used in your homes also for as baking soda. Okay, you can ask from your person who are working in your kitchen. They might be knowing that what is the use of this baking soda. It is used in baking purpose. So antacids are available in the market in the form of liquids, mixtures, or tablet. Okay, so liquids are also there, solids are also there. It is obtained in the form of it could be purchased in the form of powders, and they could be purchased in the form of tablets. Okay, so this was all about the indigestion, which is one of the most important application of neutralization reaction which is taking place with the help of antacids. Okay, now next we are going to discuss about the ants sting. Okay, so this is about ants sting. Now this ant sting means the red ant. Okay, we are talking about the red ant. So this red ant or the sting of ant contains an acid which is known as formic acid. Okay, so this has one of the acid which is called formic acid. So this, when the ant stings or bites a person, it injects the acidic liquid inside the skin of the person, which causes burning and pain. Okay, now if you have ever encountered with these ants, they're very much dangerous also. If they are going to sting a lot, if many ants are going to sting your hand or somewhere in your body, then it is going to give you irritation, swelling, redness will be caused in that area where the ant sting will be. Ants will be injecting this chemical, means their chemical which is present in the sting is the formic acid. Now this formic acid is going to cause burning sensation in your skin. Now if ant stings a person, then what you have to do? The thing which you have to rub, means acid is there, you can neutralize it with the help of base. Now which base you are going to use is the base which is present in your home is the baking soda which is present. You have to rub baking soda over it. As ant stings a person, then rubbing mild base like baking soda solution or calamine solution on the stung area of the skin gives relief. So please remember, acid is always neutralized with the help of base to form salt and water. Okay, so this salt and water will be formed when this acid is going to react with base. Okay, just now we studied in the neutralization reaction that in this, when acid is going to be neutralized, then this is neutralized always with the help of base. So here the ant sting has formic acid in their sting, then you have to rub a mild solution of baking soda. Okay, so this baking soda or calamine solution is going to help you in giving relief. So this is because, being base, baking soda solution neutralizes the acidic liquid which is injected by the ant and cancels the effect. Please note that calamine solution also contains base which is known as zinc carbonate. Okay, you could see that any calamine solution which is in your home, you could see, just reverse the bottle and just see the ingredients which is written over there. So you will find that one of the base which is zinc carbonate is added in that calamine solution. Okay, So this was about ant sting. Now we are going to study about the soil treatment. Now, is it necessary to treat the soil also, and what is the purpose of soil treatment, and why we are going to treat this soil? So you know that in plants cannot grow without soil. Okay, everybody knows this. Why plants cannot grow without soil? Because soil is one of the most important ingredient for the plants to grow. Okay, so this is one of the most important ingredient for the plants to grow. So that is why these plants, they require soil for the growth purpose, as they contains nutrients in it. They have nutrients in it. Now, what kind of nutrients? These nutrients are present in the form of minerals and salts in the soil. Okay, so these nutrients are being absorbed by the plant's root, and this is going to, the plant is going to grow properly. So once, if more acid is present, you know that acid is going to, if acid falls on any object, it is going to corrode away. Similarly, when much more acid is present in the solution in the soil, it is going to harm the soil. Okay, so this soil is going to be harmful. This is going to show the harmful effects because the acid is present in the soil. And how is this acid added to the soil? By adding fertilizers. We are adding fertilizers in the soil because to increase the fertility of the soil, to increase the growth of the plants, to increase the productivity of the plant, then the fertilizers are added in large amount. Okay, so these fertilizers are basic or acidic in nature. So if acidic fertilizers are added, it means it is going to give acidity to the soil, and if basic fertilizers are added, then it is going to give basicity to the soil, means the soil will become too acidic or it will become too basic. Now, this acidity and basicity is harmful. Both of the cases are harmful. So what you are going to do, you will add the certain base for reducing the acidity, and you are adding certain acid to reduce the basicity of the soil. Okay, now how is this being decided? Again, let us see this. A soil may be acidic or basic naturally. Sometimes in nature also it is present. Whatever in the area in which it is present, it is going to decide the acidity and basicity of the soil. Okay, so the plants cannot grow properly if they cannot grow properly in the soil if plants are, if the soil is too acidic or too basic in nature. The excessive use of chemical fertilizers in the field makes the soil too acidic. Okay, so please remember that we are using the synthetic manure, we are using the fertilizers which is going to make your soil acidic. We are using pesticides, insecticides for increasing the productivity of the field, productivity of the crop. So this is going to add up the acidity in the soil. Okay, so this should be avoided as it is very harmful. Next thing is that when soil is too acidic, it is treated with bases such as quicklime. Okay, this is one of the base, that is quicklime, that is calcium oxide, or slaked lime, which is calcium hydroxide. Both these are added to the soil if the soil is acidic in nature. So this sodium hydroxide and quicklime, that is calcium oxide, these two, calcium hydroxide and calcium oxide, these two are the bases which are added most of the times for treating the acidity of the soil, and we could neutralize the excessive acid which is present in the soil by reducing the acidic nature. So the farmer should add quicklime in the field if the field is too acidic. Okay, you have to add base if we have to neutralize the acidity. Okay, so because this is another example of neutralization reaction where acid is already present in the soil, we are adding base on it in the form of quicklime to it, which is going to add base in the soil, and the soil becomes neutralized. However, the soil becomes, if the soil becomes too basic. Now if you have added much more quicklime or calcium hydroxide in it, then what will happen? The soil becomes too basic. Now then the dead and decaying organic matter and the manure and the compost is added to the soil, so that the soil becomes acidic in nature, means it becomes balanced. It is neither too acidic nor too basic. Okay, the decaying organic matter releases acid for treating the basicity or treating the much more base which is present in the soil, you will add some acidic things. You're not going to add acid to it, you're not going to add hydrochloric acid to it, you're not going to add fertilizers to it. Simple thing is that you will add manures and the compost to it. So it is going to neutralize the base of the soil which is present in the soil. Okay, so why it is going to neutralize the base? Because dead organic matter releases acid from them, and this it could neutralize the excessive base which is present in the soil. Okay, so this is how the basic nature of the soil being treated by adding compost, and acidic nature of the soil is treated by adding quicklime to it. So remember, this compost for treating basicity, and for treating acidity you are adding quicklime to it. Fine. Next thing we are going to discuss is the factory waste. How you are going to treat the factory waste which is obtained from the factories. So the waste which is obtained, which is discharged from many of the factories, they contains acid in it. Okay, such as the cloth industry is there, the leather industries are there. They are producing much more amount of acidic solutions from their factories. But if they are left untreated, then what will happen? If such wastes are left untreated, then they are going to be discharged in the body, water body, like that only, without any treatment. It is going to kill the fish and the other aquatic animals. Now why they are going to kill the fish and other aquatic animals? Because see, as we are not able to drink such acids and bases directly, because they are very corrosive. Similarly, if the factory wastes are directly added in the ponds and the rivers, then they are going to harm the animals and the plants. Why? Because again they cannot drink, isn't it? They are going to ruin away their gills, and the plants are also totally ruined with the reason because of the acid which is produced in the pond, which is discharged in the pond. Now this is going to kill. Now this factory waste has to be treated with the basic substance. Okay, so that these basic substances are added with this factory waste, so that the neutralization could take place and before discharging them into the water body. So this is how we are going to treat the factory waste which is acidic in nature, by adding some basic substance to it. Okay, so next thing, so these were all about the neutralization reaction which is taking place in your everyday life. Means you are going through such kinds of reactions, you are seeing such kinds of reaction, but still you are not knowing the reason why you are eating the antacid when once you are feeling very acidity in your stomach. Then why you are rubbing the calamine solution when ant is going to sting. Okay, so next thing, soil treatment is one new thing that we have to add. We cannot grow the plants and the crops in too acidic or too basic solution, too basic soil. And factory waste is the one of the most important problem which has to be discussed, which has to be taken care of, where these acids are to be treated before discharging. These acidic waste are to be treated before discharging in water body. Okay, so this was all about the neutralization reaction and its utility. Now next thing we are going to discuss is about the salts. So salts, what are salts? What are salts? Salt is a substance which is formed by the reaction of acids and bases. Okay, now everybody has understood from where is this salt formed. Salt is formed after the neutralization reaction of acids and bases. So it is an example of salt is sodium chloride, which is formed by the reaction of sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is an acid and sodium hydroxide is a base. In a way, we can say that salt has two parent. Okay, it has two parts. One is acidic and other one is base. Means one of the parent is acid and another parent is base. So the name of the salt consists of the first part of the salt's name is derived from the name of the base, and the second part of the salt is derived from the second part from the acid. Okay, for example, I'll just write down the the formation of salt here. You have to take HCl, that is sodium, that is hydrochloric acid, this is acid, and you have to take sodium hydroxide. Okay, NaOH. Now you will form the sodium chloride salt. This is a salt, okay, this is acid, this is base, this is salt, and water will be formed. Now it is being said that a salt, this NaCl has, sodium chloride has two parent, one is acid, other one is base. The first part of the name, that is sodium, is obtained from where? It is obtained from base, okay. The first name is always obtained from the base, and the second part is obtained from the acidic part, means this chloride is obtained from the acidic part, okay. So this chloride is coming from acid, this first part is coming from base, remember this. So there are two parents of one of the salt, okay. Now the salts of hydrochloric acids are always chlorides. For example, here in this example just now I told you that sodium hydroxide is an acid, is a base, and this is hydrochloric acid is an acid. Where hydrochloric acid will be used, always the salt's name will be chloride, okay. Next, the salts of sulfuric acid will be sulfates, the salts of nitric acids will be nitrates, and the carbonic acids will be carbonates. Then acetic acid will always be acetate, and so on. So please remember the suffix which is being added to the name of the salt, that is sodium chloride, when hydrochloric acid is used. When sulfuric acid will be used, it is known as sulfates, okay. So these were the about salt. Now these are the examples of salts which are given here. Acid and bases is given, what kind of salt it is going to form. For example, if the base is hydrochloric acid, if the acid is hydrochloric acid and the base is sodium hydroxide, the salt form will be sodium chloride. Now the here see, sulfuric acid is there, acid, and salt, and the base is sodium hydroxide. So what kind of salt is formed? It is going to form sodium sulfate, okay. Next is potassium hydroxide plus nitric acid, it is going to form potassium nitrate. Similarly, when hydrochloric acid is there, see, chloride is the salt. Similarly, when carbonic acid was there, so sodium hydroxide is added with carbonic acid, then the salt formed is always a carbonate, is always named as carbonate, okay. So this was about the suffix which has to be added when acids are produced. So if strong acids are there, it is going to take up the names of strong acids, okay, and if strong base will be there, then it is going to take the name of the base. Similarly, I just before only told you that salts are of three types: neutral salts, acidic salt, and the basic salt. So the salts can be of three types. First one, the salts which are formed from neutral solution by dissolving it in water, they are called neutral salts. Means when strong acid and strong base is taken, then neutral salts are formed, okay. NaCl is a neutral salt which is obtained from sodium sulfate, okay. It is a neutral salt, has no effect on litmus paper. Why it is neutral? Because it is not going to change any color of the litmus solution. Next, those salts are obtained from the strong acid and weak base, they are called acidic salt, okay. Two examples of acidic salt are the ammonium chloride and ammonium sulfate. So these are the acidic salts. Why they are acidic salt? Because when you are forming the salt in the solution form, when you are making this solution of the acidic salt, then this is going to turn the blue litmus to red in color, okay. So it is going to change the blue litmus to red in color. So ammonium chloride or this ammonium sulfate is going to change blue litmus to red in color. Next is the salt which is obtained from the basic solution, means it is called as, which is known as basic salt. Why it is called basic salt? When you are taking strong base and you are mixing with weak acid, so basic salts are formed. Two examples of basic salts are sodium carbonate and the sodium hydrogen carbonate. So the solution which is, when we are adding the solution of this sodium hydrogen carbonate and sodium carbonate in the water to the litmus paper you are adding, red litmus is going to turn to blue. So remember that these are the basic salts. So I just now told you that when the strong, whichever component will be strong, the same type of salt will be formed after the neutralization reaction. Remember this much. So that is why it is of three types: neutral salts with no reaction on litmus paper, acidic salt turning blue litmus to red, and basic salt turning red litmus to blue. That is why they are called basic, okay. Now why they are basic? Because strong base was taken with acid. Here why acidic salt? Because strong acid was taken with the base, weak base, and the neutral salts means both the acids were weak, either they are weak or they are strong, okay. So acids and bases will be strong, both of them will be strong, then neutral salts will be formed. Okay, so this was all about the neutralization reaction and about the neutralization reaction in everyday life, and also about the different types of salt, what are the components of salt, and how many types of salts which are obtained by using weak acids and strong base, strong acid and weak base, and neutral salts are also obtained by using strong acid and strong base. So these were the types of salts and we have discussed in this chapter. So with this, your chapter acids, bases and salt is over. I will come up with the next video with a question answer for this chapter. So that's all for today's video. I will meet you all in the next video with the new question answers of this chapter. Thank you for watching the video.